I don't actually know if you see yourself as a business person or a book lover. I don't know if you've made that transition yet. Um,
No, I have
do you
not.
see yourself as a business person now? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then because it's your passion
Yeah.
that you're being led by, and that gives you the drive,
Yeah.
so that when you do start finding out about, okay, there's more to this and there's a lot to learn, but then the passion is going to keep you going. That love for the reading and the books and the creativity and the arts,
But I
so.
also think the passion is always there, but it becomes something beyond passion,
Mhm.
especially for a company like Jacaranda, where, I remember like in the early days, I used to get this lady, she used to send me prayers, this older Black woman. Pray for our success, pray for your young staff, pray for your authors. We're so proud of you. And imagine like you get an email like that on a Monday morning when you're like,
That's
I'm
brilliant.
payroll, it's just like, we got to say it's beyond passion at that point, It's like what I want to do is now what we can do collectively. And the pride we have in who we are, how do we continue to show that for your young Black person in this country, you've got to be proud of yourself, be happy. That's what we try and do all the time. So it becomes bigger than passion, it really
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Purpose.
Yeah.
That's right. The passion becomes purpose.
Fantastic. So what do you most enjoy? Because I don't actually know if you see yourself as a business person or a book lover. I don't know if you've made that transition yet.
No, I have
do you
not.
see yourself as a business person now?
No, and I really wish
Okay.
I do. I do love business, right? And
Okay.
it's a bit of an Achilles heel for me actually,
Okay.
because I feel that had I started out thinking about the business side of things, in terms of our turnover and our profitability, we would be in a much better place. And so sometimes I feel like I'm holding the company back because
Okay.
not that I'm still holding the company back. That's not the case, but just that lack of knowledge has made it take a lot longer for us to get sort of into pride financially. What I really love is the editorial. Like on the page, when I sit with the manuscript and I have to start editing, it's pure joy. It really is. It's such a rarity for me to be able to do it like consistently these days.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just had an editorial meeting with one of our authors that we're publishing later this year, and I absolutely love it. I love that. And that's my strength. My strength is I know a good book and I know how to edit. And those are what I bring to the table. Everything else is a massive learning curve, okay?
But just to encourage you, it's part of the package, because at the end of the day, if you edit that book and you don't have your numbers all sorted, you don't have the projections, you don't have the plan, you don't have the strategy. Unfortunately, that might not go as far as you'd like it to.
Exactly.
So it's probably an unwelcome part of the process, but it's part of the process.
And I just feel like what's been happening for us is that we need to put ourselves in that space, right? So, for 8 years of this company, now we're in our 11th year, but for 8 years, essentially it was 2 people, myself and Jasmine Breary, who's now our COO. And we're like, we don't know, we know books, we know that Jazz is publicity, she does data, she does all that stuff to the degree that she knows as well. We understand that there's so much more to learn, and it is the idea that I now am sort of hungry for it to become a viable business. That's my like keep me up at night, moment. It's like, how are we going to do this? Literally all that you laid out. How are we strategizing? What are we planning to do? So that's where we are in this space. We recently we have become with the Arts Council. We applied for MPO status with the Arts Council.
Okay.
And what that means is
not sure what that means.
Yeah, so you become a national portfolio organization. So that's the same as South Bank Centre, Royal Opera House.
Okay.
So they all get funding from Arts Council on different degrees levels, and that is what that does for you is it sort of gives you some breathing room. So we've got the next 3 years. We're 23 to 26. We got a nice chunk of money that they sort of like mete out over the course of that time. But we also have access to lots of information in terms of how you sort of build the business up properly. And also we've got just formed a board. And so, which is not announced yet, so I can't tell you who's on it, but you might recognize a few names on there, or at least one. And so that is what is exciting to me, because now that's the shift, right? Now that we can start.
That's fantastic.
In terms of the business proposition.
Yeah.
And because we're not wanting to be reliant on Arts Council, we want to be viable, profitable company.
Yeah.
So we just
But it's a great springboard.
Yeah, we're a breathing room, exactly.
Yeah.
To really learn, bed down and learn, you know. So that's the goal for the next few years.
It kind of sounds like, in many respects, you're just getting started.
Yes,
I love that.
We just literally said that in the one of our meetings just last week. I'm just like, this is the new day for us. We're just getting started. Luckily, because of all the things that we've done, we're getting started in a really nice nursery.
Yeah.
All of the remarks, like we've got a lot that we can start with. We're not starting from scratch, as you know, we
Brilliant.
say, but it's a new beginning for sure.
And I think that story should encourage listeners in terms of if they're thinking about business, because you've talked about being a late bloomer, you know, not really knowing, you know, what you were going to do, which degree, and you know, but you've gone with something that you love and you enjoy. You didn't look and think, well, I am too old, and you've done the office management bits, the side hustle, you know, en route to the quest, you know, and you've been putting one foot in front of the other, whether you knew about ISBN numbers or not, but you're going forward. You know,
I think that's I really do want to sort of put that message across, not to sort of, it's nothing to do with whether you've gone and you've got training and you've done degrees and you're working in corporate, wherever it is, and you're climbing that ladder. That is a space for people to occupy as well, and definitely need to be in those spaces as well, without question. It just wasn't my trajectory at all. I just definitely want to sort of, if I dare say the word inspire, just inspire somebody who feels like their story isn't perfect, right? They haven't done all the right things, but they do know that they have a particular gift or talent for something. It's writing, it's reading, it's editorial. I know a good book when I read one. That's something I can rest in. Right?
That's your superpower.
I really do believe that, you know. So that's what's taken Jacaranda where from the very beginning, you know, when we started and people were laughing at us, the one thing they could not laugh at was that list. And even now, I'm always being invited to meet this CEO and that head of this. Why do they want to talk to me? You know,
I mean,
you've got prize winners and awards.
Let's put that into context. Let's put that into context. You started this brand, or this campaign, that's the better term, 20 authors in 1 year, a third of which have won awards. That is not normal.
No.
So that in itself is quite impressive.
Thank you.
And it speaks to your innovation that well, actually, I don't know if I can do it, so I might as well try. And you did do it, and I'm pretty sure, had that not happened, Hatchet and all the other CEOs wouldn't be knocking on your door saying, actually, we want to work with you. So very, very well done.
Also, I'm hearing how you've made yourselves available and given opportunity. You know, so you're doing loads. You're doing loads.
Sorry, go on.
But I feel like this is the thing, like, because I come from that generation, right? That is like just shoulder to the wheel, right? Just
that's it.
Keep on
get
going,
on with it.
Keep on going. Keep on going. And you do, like my mom, you move mountains. But what I've started to learn to do, meeting people like Richard, now meeting you, and hopefully meeting other people, is to value what I've done. Because it's very, very easy to think, well, of course I did that, but like now I've got more to do, right? And you just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, and you need to take that time to really think about like what you're giving to, you know, this industry and the world in general. And Andrew Franklin, he said that to me multiple times, you know, and it's like, get it through your thick head. And he's a guy who's like I said, you know, pinnacle of publishing. He's like, done amazing things in this industry. And the other part of it as well is like, you know, I've had the experience of like certain people, I say of our community, you know, they go through the door and they shut it closed behind them. That has been a really painful experience I've had more times than I care to really think about. And that's just something that I will never do. Like, I don't want to be the one that's coming in, and I want to keep that door open, and I want to make sure that as many people come through as possible. And that's what
that's brilliant.
With our publishing, with our staff is amazing. Oh my God. They're amazing. These young Black girls, there's like 5 of them, all in their 20s. They're just firing. They're just like amazing.
That's fantastic.
I love them so much, you know. So it's really important for me.
I mean, one of the things you actually started answering the question before I asked it, which is perfect, because I was going to ask you how can we as Black businesses support each other? And I think you touched on the whole idea of, you know, if you go through an open door, at least leave the thing ajar. You know, not even if you don't want to leave it fully, just at least let a little crack of light come through so that others can follow in your path.
Or at least a sign on the door so people can decide whether or not they want to go, want to try it.
So I'd love you to expand on that. But the thing to also bear in mind when you're saying, you know, you didn't have a perfect path, here's one of the things we found. None of the people we've spoken to actually had a perfect path. Amazing. And that's what made where they ended up perfect.
I love that,
because it wasn't this, you know, linear, I do step A, then I move to step B, then I move to step C. Of course it was actually, I didn't even know if I was going to get past step A, and then I went to C, and then I went to F. Actually, I ended up back at D, and before you know it, I'm right where I knew I wanted to be. So hey, be encouraged. This is a great story.
And that's the thing, and I think the encouragement is for everyone to understand that it is about just literally, as Judy said, take that step, and take the next one, take the next one. That's really the encouragement, more than go to this place or find this thing or what's your North Star or any of that. You know, take the step, just take the step.
That's brilliant. And a step you definitely have taken, Valerie. We are absolutely proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Likewise.
You know, so what can we expect from you in the coming year? What can we expect from Jacaranda now that you're just getting started?
So well, that's on the backside of it, but always you can expect fantastic publishing. So
good.
Here we're publishing Tipper Irie's autobiography.
I heard. Well done on that.
Icons, it's a brilliant book. It's got quotes and stories from people like Ali Campbell, Maxie Priest, Carol Thompson, they're all in there. So it's a brilliant book. Really proud of that. And we could just continue to bring amazing books to the marketplace. We've got a couple of huge things that we're working on that I can't talk about, obviously, until they're done.
Okay.
I'm very excited about that.
But you'll tell us first, won't you?
We'll tell you first. We really will tell you first, because they're great. They're really great.
Good.
I'm so glad that we're connected, because wonderful.
And I sorry, go on.
And then just finally, you know, just to be a better business. We want investors.
I really do feel like we are emerging, or we're creating a space now where Black British stories can be heard, told, and amplified.
Yes.
Because, you know, for a long time, the Black stories that we engaged with and imbibed and had access to were from across the pond.
Exactly.
And as brilliant as they are, and as much as they've helped us, we always felt, you know, what about our story? What about the plethora of Black British stories? Because, of course, we're not one homogenous bunch.
Exactly.
And so when I hear about, or when we hear about, you know, outfits like Jacaranda, you know, we get excited because, you know, we get access to the Dorothy Coomsons of this world, you know, and we're, you know, a quick thing, and it's just brilliant, and it's
homegrown, and like Colin says, love all of what's available, you know, globally, internationally, but it's nice when it's homegrown in terms of the home where we're at.
We can recognize ourselves on the pages.
We're Black, but we're the Black
Yeah,
British.
yeah.
So, you know, it's not the garbage can, it's the dustbin. You know, it's those little nuances and those flex points there.
And as much as, you know, publications like Ebony and Black Enterprise are brilliant, we wanted some of the stories to reflect us. So the Black British business people, business titans, like the Valerie Brandeses, where people can think, oh my gosh, I have a similar passion, I have a similar challenge, as it were, in terms of the barriers to entry. Well, actually, Valerie's done it. That's encouraging to me, because that shows me we can do it. And actually, she's from Hackney, just like me.
I'm a black girl from Hackney.
Exactly, a black girl from Hackney.
Black girl from Hackney. That sounds like a good title, Valerie.
If you're ever thinking about, or when you're ever thinking about your autobiography, just a black girl from Hackney. Love it.
I give you credit for the title.
No worries, no worries, no worries, no worries.
You know, but I think the whole international thing. It's nice to have the homegrown, and maybe we just flip it a little bit, where when we're ready to go
absolutely
international, then people over in the States and other parts of the world, because you know, the world isn't just the States, you know, they can see what Black British people are doing.
Well, I think you've just sort of encapsulated what happened with us, because I, like you, always look to America. Even within the publishing. So if you look at our first sort of 8 years of publishing, we don't have a lot of homegrown. It is a lot of, you know, international publishing. And that's what made us say, you know what, we're Black Britain and we've got to change this narrative.
That's
where the 2020 came from.
So
it's literally what you're saying, that we were all going through the same sort of, why are we not focusing on ourselves? We have our stories here.
Absolutely.
How could I forget? Them not would be like, tell them about. So we just published Finding Home, which is also an autobiography, but from Alfred Dalrymple.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, he's the 97-year-old.
Yes, Windrush.
Yeah, the Windrush. So that's our book. We published that. Yes. And he's
Jacaranda.
Yes, come on. So and that book is everywhere. He went to see the King. He's been with Prince William on the TV, the show where they honor people doing great things in the community.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So exactly that, like just trying to capture these stories over and over. And that came to us from Arthur Torrington. And Arthur Torrington is this amazing Black historian, community, just feeding like our community constantly with our history.
Fantastic.
Our history. And he's like, you have to publish this book. And I'm like, of course, you know, that's why we're here, you know.
And it's brilliant because, you know, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, practically, in another 20 years, he won't be here.
That's right.
But his story will be preserved and shared to the world through Jacaranda. That is absolutely brilliant.
And that's the power of publishing. You know, so and whoever, because my goal as well is to make sure that this company is here for another 100 years. Like Faber,
brilliant.
You know, Faber,
brilliant.
For 100 years. So it's about making sure you bring on the next generation in terms of all aspects of what we're doing. Make that space, keep that door open. I'm ready to like move to the side. You can replace me. I'm fine with that. Okay.
Brilliant.
But the stories will continue to be told.
And that's what's encouraging, because, you know, we have a similar thing in the sense of this is not, it started out as being our thing in terms of this is what we got a passion for. But then after a while, you realize it's actually bigger than us. It's our thing. And you need to build the systems, the structure, the resources, so that in another 50 years, when we're not likely to be here, this brand, this thing, this ecosystem, this infrastructure is still going.
Exactly.
Because we're really just midwives, aren't we? Birthing this thing. And then we hand it on to people who can be great custodians for the future.
And I think for us as Black businesses, it's so important to try for that, aspire for that. Because so many of the businesses that we think about, that we just take for granted, are somebody's name that they started a company 100 years ago.
Yeah.
How has that been able? How has that managed to be consistent over the centuries? That's what I'm really trying to get for us.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
For 5 years, you're out of business. You know, let's try to really do that.
Yeah,
you know,
and I think that there are reasons for that, because very many of us, we start off in business with a mindset of survival.
Yeah,
we're just trying to put food on the table. And unfortunately, it takes us a long time, if at all, for some of us to think, okay, I've ticked the survival piece.
Yeah.
You know, my kids are fine. Our kids are fine. We've got everything sorted.
Good,
How do we now think about the next 50 to 100 years?
Exactly.
So that when we are dead and gone, our brand, our influence, the purpose lives on.
Exactly. That's it. That's the dream, honestly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, we're so excited. We can't wait to watch the story unfold.
I like what you did there.
See what I did there? We can't wait to see that happen with Jacaranda books.
Oh dear.
So well done.
I'm just thinking how many books I need to shift to make space.
I mean, I need to send you a little goodie bag.
I'd love us to talk about what we, as in Jacaranda and Pitch Black, could do as well in terms of just exposing our community to some great books. There's
lots we can.
I think so.
And there's one thing that we have to make sure and ask is, where can people find this wonderful list of books that Jacaranda publishes? So which booksellers, bookshops, online, where can we find these wonderful authors?
Awesome. So we are also set up as an online bookshop as well. So if you go to our website, it's www.jacarandabooksartmusic.co.uk. As I said, there are a lot of Jacarandas out there. And you can order directly from us. We always offer discounts and QR codes. You can go to Amazon, you can go to Waterstones, any of the small independent bookshops will have our books. Pretty much anywhere that you can find a book, you will find us.
Brilliant.
Don't let us know, and we make sure that we'll get it to you.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So what we need to do is make sure that our listeners know the whole list of the books. Jacaranda books.
Yeah. Honestly, if you go on the website, that's a great place to start. Like,
good.
Buy from us, but if you want to look and then go to Amazon, that works too. But you will see everything. You'll see the whole list, all of the books curated, so that, you know, if you're looking for a particular genre, or, you know, maybe it's something to do with a holiday or something, everything's in there curated for the reader.
I mean, why someone would want to look on your website, have access to the book, have access to buying the book, and then move to Amazon, I'm not really sure why.
Me either. Let's just scratch that part. Yeah,
that's it. Just go on to jacarandabooksartandmusic.com.co.uk and go get yourself some great books.
.co.uk. Don't send the people somewhere else.
It's on the screen.
It will be on the screen.
Listen, Valerie, it is such an absolute pleasure chatting with you. We could be here for a while.
I know,
we probably are after we finish recording.
We know you have to go and build this great business that you've got in Jacaranda Books. But before you go, one of the things we have to do this is the quick fire dozen.
Oh God, I'm scared. Okay.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. So it's a bit of fun.
It's a bit of fun.
The quick fire dozen is fun. And we ask you a question, and you basically just answer as it comes to you. No long thing.
Okay. Think long, think wrong. Okay.
That's it.
Right.
So the first question is
jollof
or rice and peas?
Rice and peas.
Okay.
Plantain
or plantain?
Plantain.
Beach holiday
or city break?
Beach holiday.
Okay.
Cash flow
or capital appreciation?
Help. Cash flow. At the moment.
All right.
Okay. Netflix
or YouTube?
Actually, YouTube. Probably my age.
Oh, here we go. Reggae.
Or Afro beats.
Reggae.
Okay.
Listening to music.
Or listening to a podcast.
Ooh, podcast, I guess.
Right. Dark chocolate.
Or milk chocolate.
I'm a heathen. Milk.
You know, the dark one's better for you now.
I know.
You know?
I'm a total
Right.
heathen.
Right. Stocks and shares.
Or crypto.
Oh, stocks and shares.
And Samsung.
Or Apple.
Both.
You got to choose one.
All the TVs are Samsung, all the computers are Apple. I guess Apple, because my phone isn't at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, then 19.
Or night out.
Ooh, nights out.
Okay. Now, before we ask this question, we need to just clarify.
God.
Are you vegetarian or pescatarian? Do you eat meat?
I don't eat red meat. I do eat meat. I eat chicken and
Okay.
fish.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, right. All right. So then, see, normally we go with oxtail or curry goat, but we can go with brown stew or curry chicken.
Oh, I think either one, the curry side's got to slightly edge it out.
Okay.
So curry chicken. Yeah.
Curry chicken.
Curry chicken. Okay.
Curry chicken. Very good.
Wow.
You survived the quick fire.
That's it. You did well. You did absolutely well.
Yeah, I did really well. So, yeah. It's
Fantastic.
just a bit of fun. I was chuckling to myself earlier when you said something about the plantain and the plantain. I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Fantastic.
But yeah.
Valerie, it's been an absolute pleasure, Judy and I, connecting with you, sharing some time with you and hearing about the incredible story of your life and Jacaranda books. And we are just so excited for the future. We can't wait to hear the next chapter of your story.
Thank
So
you so much.
keep doing what you're doing.
Likewise.
And as the pages turn, we'll be reading with interest.
You must have a book inside, Colin. Like, you got the language for one.
Yeah, that's another story.
That's another story. that's over a coffee story.
Okay.
Oh dear.
So listen, thank you.
I happen to know a publisher, so.
Sorry, say again.
I happen to know a publisher, so.
Fantastic. There you go.
Oh,
thank you so much. Very well done for what you're doing. And just know one thing, here at Pitch Black, we will be celebrating you, cheering you on, and challenging you to push the envelope even further. So
another step.
Hey, well done.
That's right, Judy.
Well done. Been an absolute pleasure, Valerie.
Yeah, likewise.
Take good care.
Thank you. You too.